All right, I don't know about you, but an epic wall of flames title treatment really gets my heart thumping. And this is something with enough knowledge you can pull off in Camtasia 2020. So we're going to teach you how to do this. But first, let's review this a little bit. The kind of neat thing that we're going for with this is you start off flames, and then you just start to see the text. And as it gets closer and closer and closer, all right, yeah, you see the text is immersed in those flames. It's poking through and popping out. A cheap way to do something similar to this would be just to do a scale with some alpha transparency through, but it doesn't quite give you this covered emerging effect that we're going to go for. So let's take a look at how to build this from scratch. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to delete everything in this project, and we're going to start from scratch, right? You'll want to get out to the TechSmith Asset Store. We're going to hit that link. I've got it already pulled up in Chrome here. And there we go. I've found this wall of flames, and I really dig it, right? So hit the Camtasia button. It'll download it into Camtasia. Okay, so now that we've got our wall of flames, we're just going to go ahead and drag this guy down onto the timeline. And the first thing we need to do is take a quick peek at him and say, what type of file are you? Looking at this, it says ABC1. And that's actually a code that stands for H.264 encoding. Ooh, that's our first sign of problem. That means there's actually no transparency data in this. H.264 does not support transparency. Huh, how are we going to have our text float through this, right? Well, and just to show you something here, we're going to get some text, go to our favorites, and I'm going to grab some text here, and I'll drag it out for a bit. Go ahead and type in Camtasia, and okay. Now I'm just going to drag this guy underneath this wall of flames, and you can see I can't see anything, and that's because no opaque pixels, right? So we've got to create some transparency. Well, you might have been stuck in the past, but with Camtasia 2020, you can actually remedy this problem. So we're going to go ahead and Control C, Control V, and I'm going to get those two right next to each other. I'm going to use one of them to matte the other, and we're going to use luminosity mode. So we're going to go into luminosity mode, and now this track is matting it. And basically in luminosity mode, anything in this track that is black will hide things in this track. It will make them invisible. And anything that's white or bright will show things. So the white or bright colors are coming through, pixels are coming through here, and the black are being hidden in this one, right? So we've got some transparency. I'm just going to go ahead and group this up. We're going to turn off the matte mode in here, because it's already done inside that group. And you can see, I mean, this is a cool look, but it's not exactly what I want. So we're going to tune things up a little bit. So I'm going to select this matte media, and I'm going to come over into visual effects. And what I would do is just grab this color adjustment. In fact, we'll just go for it. The point is you're going to have to play around with things and experiment, right? So now I've got this black adjustment. You can see already the defaults have done something to it. And I'm just going to start fiddling with the dials. So let's crank the brightness up. Let's make sure our saturation is all the way down. I'm just going to start pulling back the contrast a little bit at a time until I get to something I'm pretty happy with. Yeah, that looks cool, right? So you can already see the text is wrapping around, or the flames are wrapping around the text, right? So some of the text is almost completely visible and others are obscured by the flames, but I can see through the flames in many cases. So because they're not fully opaque in most cases. All right, so I'm just going to get out of this group now. We're done with this. We got our transparent footage, right? And just to show you that this is really truly transparent, right? Let's go grab something from our favorites again. I'll grab this guy. We'll drop it down. It's a nasty pink color. Let's put something a little bit different in there. Let's maybe go in and grab white, maybe. Okay, so you can see this truly is now transparent flame footage, right? So looks nicer against black. It looks really great with that text in it. So let's start figuring out how to animate this up, right? So I'm going to come out here about 5 seconds or so, and I'm going to drop an animation on this guy, and I'm going to make this animation about 4 seconds long. So I could use scale, probably should be using scale, but my old buddy Z order doesn't get used enough, so I'm going to go -1000 on the Z order on that start super keyframe, and then I'm going to come over here to the end super keyframe, and I'm going to go 1000 on that guy, right? All right, so I've got some animation going on here now, but that text isn't popping out, right? That Z order isn't going to override the fact that this wall of flames is on top. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to move my playhead back to the beginning of the timeline, use this clip. I'm going to Command C, Command V, and copy and paste, and I'm just going to drag this new track up here. Minimize my timeline a little bit, and what I want to do is I'm going to make this animation right here about a second long. I'm going to clean up the back end of him, bring him up and snap him in tight with that. And then I want this to come from an opacity of 0 to 100%, right? And we've got a small problem here. You notice I'm not getting to, I'm out of sync here with my text, right? So what's going on? Well, a couple things may be going on. Let's check our animation ease and settings right here. Okay, this is set to none. This is set to none. And in this particular case, this is not my go-to easing, but that's correct. That's what I want to do because this animation is a different length than this, but I want to pick it up at the same point in time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get on this keyframe, super keyframe, and I'm going to come down to this clip here, and I'm going to look at where my Z position is, and it's right there at 500. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this guy, and I'm going to make his Z position 500 to start out. Oops, Y position 500 to start out, and he's going to finish up at 1000, right? So, all right, so we're coming through. It's gradually fading in, and now we've popped out of the flames. So let's look at this in real time. And, that's pretty close. There's a couple of things that I want to improve on this. So I'm just going to go ahead and get down here on this clip. And what I want to do is I want to fade him out so that as this is fading in, this guy is fading out. Just get a little bit better blending. So I'm going to go ahead and group this text, and Nice thing about 2020 is you don't have to have more than one item to make a group. You can take one item and make a group. So now it's grouped, and I'm going to add an animation and make him a second long. And we're going to come over here, and for opacity, it's at 100%. I'm going to go to the final keyframe right there, and I'm going to crank this guy back down one, right? So what we should see is a little bit better blending. Yeah, I really like that. Now, the problem is, it's coming in here. I may want to improve the beginning of this. See how it starts out, and I can see it's immediately visible. So I'm going to come about 30 frames into this, and just to give it a little breathing room from the start. And I'm going to go ahead and add an animation. Drag that guy out. I'm going to make this guy about 45 seconds long. And we're going to come over here, and we're going to make this guy 0 opacity. So now let's watch this whole thing in real time. Super duper cool. See how the text immersed in there, and now it starts gradually popping out of those flames. It's ridden all the way through the flames. I guess in the famous words of Winston Churchill, when you're in hell, keep on going. And that's exactly what our titling is doing right here. So hope you enjoy this. Super powerful, amazing. You can do this in Camtasia 2020.